This is Ready Set Reiki, a podcast about Reiki, the universal energy life force. From the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, and all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination. And on this Ready Set Reiki journey, we refer to ourselves as guides rather than hosts, as we too are traveling, supporting each other, and learning on this journey as well. And with that said, I am your first guide, Tracy Searight.
Hi, and I'm your second guide, Kim Cardiel Early.
Welcome, our listeners. Today is a very special episode because you are in for a big treat. So, we not only have one guest, we have three. And this spectacular group here, these soul sisters, have united to create the journey of transformation through the art of words and codes. So, we're going to talk about all the wonderful things that they offer and this wonderful book. So, as we dive right in, I'm going to introduce you to this wonderful author of this book, one out of the three here, and that is Rochelle Harlington. Now, she is a woman who chooses personal power, faith, and hope to grant her resilience and strength in life. She was born in England. Her family began when she was just 4 years old, traveling to her father's work. However, through these experiences, she learned to adapt at a very young age to different cultures, customs, and schools. By the time she was 15, she had traveled to Africa, New Zealand, Switzerland, Canada, just to name a few. And for the years to follow, she began to reject the norms imposed upon her. Her journey was not an easy one, and it was filled with despair, frustration, and lack of self-worth. At 39 years old, she walked away from an abusive relationship with 2 small children in tow. Alone and scared and feeling hopeless, she began her journey to create her life. In 2011, she walked away from a corporate job with no idea how she was going to survive, let alone feed her children. That same year, she developed her first prosperous entrepreneurial business, which thrives to this date. In 2017, she founded her second business, a personal development organization, Roots for Success, that helps individual centers build strength and success. She has also earned her credentials as a transformative coach and speaker. Rochelle, welcome to Ready, Set, Reiki.
Oh, thank you so much. I am very honored to be here today. Thank you.
Well, we're going to dive right in. I just shared a little bit with our listeners, but you tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so you've covered a lot. I mean, over the last few years, a lot has shifted. I have really dived into the energy work and supporting people so much and understanding that everything is energy, and that when we can tap into that and use it, and we can really shape our lives. And everything is also emotion. And that is something I've really moved into to support people on understanding how they can tap into their emotions, they can tap into the energy, and how they can shift their lives in the way that they want. Because as Dina and Leo and I know, energy is everything and everything is energy. So, you use it. And a lot of people will sometimes think, oh, but it can't be, but it is there. And I've used it with my family. I've used it in creating what I want to see. I've used it in creating, switching from speaking when COVID hit into opening my own podcast, and then taking that podcast and pushing it into a TV show. So it really is your belief on what you can do. And that is something I strive to support people, humanity, everybody out there, that you have the power. It's all within you. It's whether or not you believe it. So that's a little bit more about me.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So when did this energy work, transformative coaching come into your life? Did you find it or did it find you?
I think it probably found me. I mean, I've always been, many of us have those gifts when we're young, and then we kind of shut them down. But I think it came back when I had really gone through a lot of turbulent times, and it kind of showed back up. And there was a specific moment I remember when I had spoken to a woman in a park and was sharing with her so much about feng shui and energy and how you could shift your life. Walked away. About a week later, I'd gone over to another a client's house to have a conversation with her about, because I train dogs. And that same woman walked from the back room and said, "Oh my God, I know you. You changed my life. Our conversation in the park. Wow, I've changed everything." And that's when I knew, wait a minute, I think I'm in the wrong line of work. I think I should maybe be shifting here. So that was a big kind of like, oh, aha moment. And that's when I started to shift. So yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Amazing. Already starting to help people just as you began your journey. I love it. I love it. Wonderful. So, what is a common misperception about your work?
Come. For me, a common misperception, I think, is that we have all the answers, that we can solve everything, but we can't. We are always, I find, whether you're a healer, whether you're a coach, you're always learning, you're always shifting, and it's also you learning to grow as well. So I think, yeah, that for me, that's my answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a journey, is it not?
Hmm.
Constantly evolving. So, what has been the biggest challenge that you have faced in your profession?
The biggest challenge. Mm. I think for me personally, I always like to support people no matter what. And sometimes you try to give them everything because you really want them to see the potential. But the challenge, I think, early on was to just let go, to realize that I couldn't control everything and that whether or not the person accepted it, it was up to them. I could only offer the energy of change and whether or not they decided to pick it up. So I think that for me was one of my biggest challenges.
Right. It's very hard as someone, especially if you're an empath, right?
Yes. Yes. You want to help the world.
Want to help the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what advice would you give someone who's just entering this profession?
Patience, forgiveness, and know that you're not always going to fit everybody's mold. And it really doesn't matter because there is one person out there that will seek your help, that one person will need what they need from you. So know that the right people will show up when they're ready.
I love that. Beautiful. That's something just to keep saying over and over and over again, right?
Yes,
When you get
exactly.
frustrated. So we're here today because you have helped in kind of creating or birthing, so to say, a book, The Journey of Transformation Through Art of Words and Codes. Can you just tell me a little bit about the book?
A little bit. Yeah, sure. It's a collaboration of energy. It's a collaboration of art, with codes, channeled messages that are really teaching people to believe in themselves and know that they are sovereign and that they have the right to create and move in that direction. And every message that is in there is to empower the reader to believe in themselves. And through the art and the messages and the codes, it is one of those books you'll pick up. I personally believe you'll read it, you'll look through it, you'll read the messages, you'll put it down, and then a week later you'll pick it up, look at the same message, but it'll give you a different inspiration to take a different step and it'll empower you. So I think it's a journey. It's not a book you read and you put to the side. It's a book
Sure.
that keeps moving as you transform.
Wonderful. Beautifully put. See, I just love when authors, use their words to just describe their masterpiece, right? Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So, what other modalities do you offer?
For me personally,
Yes.
yeah, I do have one that I specifically do, which is, well, there's two. There's one, I work with numerology a lot, something I've done for over 35 years. My whole family does it. So that seems to be actually something that I really am noticing is coming out in 2023, 2024, which is funny. But it does. Again, it's energy of numbers. And then also, I work with the emotional code, subconscious release. So I basically will listen to the verbiage of the person where they start to feel the emotions, and I'm able to transmute that energy within their chakra system, pull it out and transmute it so that they can release and start to move in a different direction, letting go of those emotions.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, where can someone find you if they are listening to this and like, my goodness, this is who I want to connect with? How can they get in touch with you?
I'm on almost all platforms, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or you can go to my website, rochelleharlington.ca, and you'll find all the links there. or you can find me on Spotify at the Transformational Soul Talks. So reach out to me anywhere. Send me a message.
Beautiful. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Rochelle. This ends our part of our journey together because I'm going to head over to the other author of this wonderful book, and that is Dina Fortune. So I'm going to bring her in here to tell us about her journey. So,
Hi,
welcome,
thank you.
Dina. I'm going to give a little bit to our listeners about you. So, Dina has been on our show before, and we're quite fortunate that she has come back. So, let me tell you a little bit about her. So, Dina Fortune, a lifelong artist, began her creative journey in childhood using painting as both a form and both processing and escape. During college, a seamlessly woven dance, poetry, sculpture into her art, often creating alien like figures. A transformative year in art in Italy fueled her passion. After she graduated from Carnegie Mellon University, she relocated to New York City, dedicated to realizing her dream of being an artist and anthropologist. Armed with a fine art degree, she discovered a profound connection to the healing arts, becoming an intuitive painter, channeling divine wisdom and galactic beings. She is a published artist and author and has received activations of light language, attained her Reiki level 1 and 2, and achieved the status of Dragon Reiki Master. These diverse energy modalities contribute to her unique approach as an intuitive painter and mystic artist, allowing her to channel divine wisdom and infuse her art with powerful activation codes. As a conduit for a higher realm, her art extends beyond the visual, creating a profound and transformative experience for those who engage with her work. Her joy includes facilitating intuitive art classes and collaborating with like minded souls to bring positive change to the world. All right, Dina, I shared a little bit with our listeners here, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you. I'm so honored to be here. This is such an exciting day. So really, I just love being a co-creator of divine art and bringing through collaborations and codes and being creating spaces for others to thrive and feel empowered and share their expression, really. So it's just our sacred expression is so important, and I love being part of that journey for others. So
Beautiful,
through the
beautiful.
art and events and creating this book, it's just all about uplifting. So
I love it. I love it. So the next question is asking about the energy. And when I got to talk to you last time, we kind of really didn't focus too much on this particular energy. So I'm going to ask that question. So when did the Dragon Reiki come into your life? Did you find it or did it find you?
it actually found me. So funny enough, my a friend of mine that I met through a spiritual community introduced me to Brandy, who was teaching all these forms of Dragon Reiki at the time. And when I was first getting introduced to the dragons, and I looked up on her website after her having a few channeling sessions with her, and it turns out that she was teaching all these dragon Reiki sessions, and I was just like, I got to do this. I just felt really called to. So I did the I did the dragon Reiki 1 and 2 in a Zoom call, and then when she offered it with the master level, I went in and I did it again. So I took it twice.
Wonderful. I love that. It doesn't hurt to take it more than once if you feel the calling. And I think when you take it more than once, you learn something new every time. So, yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. I love that. So, doing art, working with the energy, what is a common misperception about your work?
I remember this question from last time. The most common perception I feel is that the art is just, paint on a canvas. That it's just a picture for people to look at. And when it's really something so much more, there's portals and energies and frequencies and codes in there. And it's something I've discovered that it is basically consciousness on a canvas or on watercolor paper. So sharing that at first was a little interesting, and then now I'm like, it just is what it is. Energy,
Right,
energy,
right.
energy on paper. Yeah. So thank
Beautiful. And beautiful work on paper.
you.
So
Yeah.
beautiful. So, what is the biggest challenge that you have found in your profession?
I feel the biggest challenge has been putting what I offer into words that the common person can understand, and to make it so that I am approachable, even though the description might seem really out there, to bringing it uh, to finding the words to make it normalized to talk about light language and dragons, and where people don't get scared when I say that I connect with dragons, or light codes or light language. I think that's been the biggest challenge is coming across some folks that are uh, not quite there to maybe they're a little bit in a state of fear of new things and more higher dimensional kind of broader expansive thinking, to not come across, for the lack of better words, cuckoo for cocoa puffs. uh, so yeah, that's I would say my biggest challenge is being able to describe my offerings and the art in a way that many can understand.
Okay, so that would be also your biggest challenge, right, in this
Yeah.
profession. So, very
Yeah.
good.
Right.
So, what advice would you give someone who's just entering this profession?
Really, the thing that comes is follow your heart. Really listen to your heart. And the mind, it's filled with so many thoughts that are not even ours, that to just learn how to listen to your heart.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. I love that. So, what other advice would you give someone? Uh, what other modalities do you offer? Do you provide for services for other people?
So I do offer intuitive art sessions, both privately and in group sessions. And I also offer intuitively guided journeys with light language, activation, and practice. And it's basically like an Akashic record journey, where I guide them into a space where they can connect with their own Akashic records. And I am a guide and a facilitator and a space holder. And so they're very intuitively personalized sessions that also involve also art, where I'll intuitively paint art and invite them also to paint as well. So yeah, so they're very creative, intuitive, Akashic experiences.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, where can we find you? So, how can we get in touch with you? I had seen that you draw dragons for people. So, and you had a little special running. So,
Oh,
tell us how to get
yes.
in touch with you. How can we get your services?
Thank you for mentioning that, because I totally forgot. And so Facebook, I still have the Light Language Dina and Sully Dina Facebook pages. And I have a link tree. If you look up, Sully Dina, SOULYDINA, LinkedIn, and Instagram, TikTok, the major, I think if you type in Dina Fortune, you should be able to find me.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Thank you, Dina. This ends our part of our journey together. And I'm going to go over to the next author of this fantastic book, and that is Lily Lee. So thank you so much, Dina. All right, so I have up next Lily Lee. She is a healer, activator coach. She focuses on fostering personal and spiritual development by unlocking your natural psychic and healing capacities, and through her innovative quantum light language healing method. As a founder of Quantum Light Language Academy, she is dedicated to normalizing light language and empowering individuals to awaken their true potential and remember who they are. So, welcome, Lily Lee, to Ready Set Reiki.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, I gave our listeners just a little bit about you. So, tell us about yourself.
Well, basically, I am from Toronto. I was originally from Taiwan, and I have just been recently awoken, so to speak, from, I would say, officially started the journey maybe back in, I would say, 2018, maybe shortly after my mom passed away. And ever since, as soon as I step into my soul purpose, everything that I do is aligned to my soul purpose, which is to awaken the humanity and to raise the vibration and to heal the collective.
Beautiful. I love that. What a wonderful journey it sounds like you have been on. All of you have been on. It's amazing, and how all of you were able to come together and just create such a wonderful book. So, in this sense, the energy work, did it find you or did you find it?
Actually, I think I've always known that I have healing energy in my hands. So I always knew that, but because I didn't know much, I thought it's all in my head. So I started with making jewelry, not because I love jewelry, but because I wanted to infuse my healing energy in these pieces because I love making things from scratch. And so when women wear it, they'll be like looking in the mirror and they'll be like, ooh, I feel so good because I look good, but they don't realize that I have infused these healing energies into the pieces. But I have to admit, when I didn't know about any of these, I said that out loud and I was going, oh, that is really gimmicky. Who's going to believe me when I said that? So I never really officially and publicly said that out loud. I just kind of said, oh, just jewelry, handmade
Right.
jewelry. That's it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, goes into our next question. What is the common misperception about your work?
I would say it's the fact that they think it's work.
Good one. Very good.
Yes. I think because if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, do what you love and it will grow, right?
Yes.
Very good, very good. So what has been the biggest challenge in your profession?
I would definitely say the fact that many people are still plugged in to the poverty grid, the
Yes.
matrix.
Yes.
So they believe that either as healers, they cannot charge much, or if they are not healers, they expect you not to charge.
Yes, for sure. That sounds, they all want it for free. Isn't it amazing? Amazing. Yeah. Something
Yes,
else.
yes, definitely. So that would be the biggest challenge in my
Right,
opinion.
right. And then they try to haggle with you and knock the price down. Absolutely. Yeah. I can agree with that for
Or
sure.
shame you.
Yes, exactly. Right, right, right. So, what advice would you give someone who's just entering this profession?
I would say be yourself, meaning let your personality come through. Don't copy others. Let your personality come through, be yourself, let yourself shine, because this is the best way for you to attract whoever it is that is your soul clients. Because I truly believe that before we came here, we are basically contracted to whoever it is that we're supposed to help and whoever it is that are supposed to help us. So by you being you, you will be able to attract that a lot faster than trying to maneuver and try to copy others and yeah.
Very good, very good. Very good advice to give someone. Absolutely. So tell me about the other modalities that you offer.
So basically, my major focus is quantum healing and light language. And therefore, I came up with the modality quantum light language healing. And I am all about light language because I want to normalize it. Because, in my opinion, that is the quickest way to awaken anybody, to awaken to who you truly are. So as a process, I do offer free as well as paid programs. So I do have a free masterclass series that I generally run on a monthly basis. And it is to awaken your intuition or innate psychic / healing abilities. And it's actually quite a fun masterclass where you get to experience everything, because I love experiential exercises as opposed to I so-called teach, because I don't think it's teaching, it's more awakening, help you remember who you truly are, because it's not really learning, in my opinion. So I love to bring you through a bunch of exercises where you just experience it. So I have those free masterclass series on a monthly basis. And as well as I do offer many different mentorship programs. One of them is a 6-month mentorship inner mystique awakening program. And it's meant for whoever it is that basically where I was, meaning, oh, I feel like I'm a healer. Like they just have a knowing, right? But they're like, no, that's weird. That's not possible. So they have a knowing, and then they're like, but I don't know where to start. So that's where I come in. I'm able to help you and awaken you and activate your healing powers. And so that you're able to start stepping into your soul purpose and start to help others and heal the collective, because you and me together, we're able to heal the collective faster as opposed to me doing it by myself, which doesn't make sense. Yeah, so that's the 6-month program. I also do have a bunch of other mentorship programs, such as a introduction to light language mastery. And it's for whoever it is that would like to and are ready to speak light language, because in my opinion, light language, simply put, is just vibration of any living things, literally. So anybody can speak it, anyone, especially if you wish to do so, and if you're contracted in this lifetime to do that. So in that 6-week program, I will be activating you with your light language and also showing you the muscles that's needed to understand what light language transmissions are about. So that is a 6-week program. And I also have another program for mentorship, another one for Akashic Records. And I also do one-on-one healing and activation sessions if that's something that people need.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing all that. So as someone's listening to this and like, wow, muscles, like, wow, this is blowing my mind. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I am on Facebook and as well as TikTok and LinkedIn and YouTube and my own websites as well. But the best way to reach me would be the Linktree link.
Beautiful.
So it is Linktree and at lilylee.ll.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you, Lily Lee. This ends our part of our journey together. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. And I'm going to pass you over to my co-guide, Kim, who has 3 social media questions for the 3 of you. So these wonderful authors here who collaborated on the journey of transformation through the art of words and codes. Kim?
Hello, ladies. Oh my goodness. I love listening and love soaking up all the different energies. I, like you, Rochelle, I was a military brat. So by the time I was 5, I had lived in different countries, speaking all kinds of different languages. Oh my gosh, Dina, you and the dragons. Look, I got my little broken dragon head here. I run my mom's retail store and was slow today. And I always call in the dragons from the 12th dimension. I'm like, where are you guys? It's slow. Where are my customers? Where's my money? I always call the dragon. I'm like, where are you guys? Lily, just listening to all of you, I just love like light languages and just, you know, when you said about coming into people's contracts, I always say that to my Reiki clients. I'm like, you wrote me in right on time. This was not an accident. You wrote me in. Kim's gonna give me Reiki on this day. You know what I mean? I was like, none of this is a coincidence. So thank you, ladies, so much. So 3 questions. And I guess you guys will decide who answers what. But the first one is, what inspired you 3 to collaborate on the book in the first place?
So that's an interesting question. So I'll answer that one. It's actually kind of funny. So those messages were channeled back in 2019 to 2020 by myself. And I kind of put them in a book and forgot about them and didn't know what I was going to do with them, but just knew they were very profound because they weren't something that I would normally write. And I waited. I met Dina through a Zoom call and was very intrigued by her artwork. I love painting myself. So we started connecting and we had this conversation back and forth, and we were talking about, tarot deck cards. And I was like, no, it's not that. I don't know what it is. We had that conversation and we were like, what should we do? And I was like, maybe we could put it in a book. She's like, oh yeah, that would be super cool. She's like, yeah, we can put that with the art and it would be really, really cool. And then we were like, I said, one more person. And it was funny because when I wrote it all out and I started putting some of the artwork, I tell the story all the time, I had written Lily, now I had met, just a side note, I had met Lily through the light language, another group, and I had seen her, she had seen me. And so we were kind of knew each other, but we hadn't actually met. And I had somehow typed in her name as if Source wanted me to put it in there, but I wasn't really aware. So, because Dina goes, you've got Lily's name in the manuscript. And I was like, really? Oh, wow. So the original person that was supposed to, before Lily came in, left just perfectly. And Lily just slipped right in. And then all of a sudden it was like, we just knew that this was perfect because it was an inspiration to something that I think was just on the tip of the collective consciousness. They're just about ready to accept this. Like it's really starting to expand. And I think this book is making it mainstream. It's people are ready to understand that between art, codes, channel messages, you can expand who you want to be. So I think that's probably the best way to describe it.
I love that, right? Because what did you say, Dina? For lack of a better words, we sound cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? So it's really nice that, yeah, like Reiki, we should be able to talk about energy and light language and all this and dragons, just like how they talk about Buddha and Jesus and Muhammad, like it's energy. And I love that because I had lunch with a friend today. We were talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, isn't it great? We just talk about this stuff, and I don't feel like you're gonna commit me. Make a phone call, like, hey, okay. So I've learned so much from listening to just you 3 and all the other, people that I've had such a blessing to listen to. But what have you guys learned from each other writing this book together?
So this was a purely experiential learning. And I feel like between developing the level of trust of being a conduit of energy and playing to our strengths and being able to what's the word for it, authentic, and be like, I don't know, but the thing is, I mean, my contribution was the art and it was a trust. And the thing is, one of the things that I learned was that my higher self had me making these paintings around the same time that she was channeling her messages. I started these paintings in 2019. And so it was like everything, I feel this whole book was divinely guided. And it was a matter of just
Of course it was.
trusting, right?
Yeah.
What was that?
I said, of course it was divinely guided,
Like, right? So it was just really, and in the middle of it, Rochelle and I wound up hosting a 3-month long LinkedIn Live called Everything is Energy and Energy is Everything. And so we got to learn what the collective, like you said, is really awakening more, and we were all called together to co-create this and bring our collective strengths together so that we can bring this energy for the collective, really. So I mean, I'm sure that there's probably more that I could say. I would just say that this collaboration has been transcendental.
That's awesome. And it's whenever you have, they always say two's company, three's a crowd, ego. You always worry about egos coming in, but I love that when it is a true light worker. I just did a video on TikTok about good witches and bad witches. I'm like, they don't exist. It's people that do harm and people that don't do harm, right? So it's like you love when you have that higher vibrational energy come together, and that's something you don't have to worry about. And there's no ego. You know what I mean? Like we're all here as a collective to help. And I love that. And you can tell from the way you three talk, like, and just the book, like what you guys created. Okay. So Lily, now to you with the last question. What message would you like the readers to take away from your book that you guys wrote? What's the one of the main things that you'd like for people to take away?
We'd like you to remember who you truly are. Now you're like, yeah, who am I? You are powerful light beings having a human experience. Now I'd like to read an excerpt from the authors in the book.
Yay, because I was going to ask you to. So perfect.
Yes. So we hope that these channeled messages in word, code, and art form bring you inspiration to make changes in your life and inspire you to know that you are special and one of a kind and sovereign in your birthright. Become immersed in the words and let the flow of the art and codes fill your soul with true happiness, joy, and bliss. We invite you to be inspired to create and allow the words, codes, and art to activate your inner wisdom.
I love that. Yes, that is so true. I just saw a meme today that's like, we're ghosts covering a meat skeleton on a rock that's floating through space. Like, fear nothing. Like, what do we have to fear? You know what I mean? Like, literally. So yeah, I love that. Is there anything else that you want to share? Another part of the book? Is there anything that we missed that you ladies would like the listeners to know that's important to know about your book, or anything else that you'd like to add before we sign off?
I just want everyone to remember that you are a powerful creator of your own reality. Truly, you have control as an adult with how to react to everything that happens to you, for you. Remember that. Another very important point I would like to remind everyone is, please treat yourself as if you are your own best friend. Self-love, self-compassion, be patient, be kind, be nice. That is so, so, so important.
Yes. I always say the grace and forgiveness you give to your best friend and your loved ones, give it to yourself. Why? Why do you give it so freely to everyone else? But when it comes to yourself, you can't forgive yourself or give yourself grace. Now I'm the queen of it. I'm like, oh, well, oopsie. But Gina, Rochelle, what else? I know you got some more goodies for me. What else? What else?
Oh my God, Rochelle. Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to mention that we already hit number one in a couple of rankings, and I feel that, I mean, it was, we've hit number one today, as far as I know, in the creative category, the inner child category, and the
Oh, that's
spiritual
amazing.
category. We hit number seven as last I checked. And I thought that was really magical. And I just feel so grateful for all the support. And I really do feel like this was the first time I was in a trio experience that I felt so like we were all equals. We're all like there was no drama. It was so loving. Like I just feel like this project is so full of love. Like we have so much love like for each other and so much respect for each other that this whole book was, I feel, co-created with the highest vibration and the highest intent for all those that are meant to receive and be empowered and activated through the process of experiencing the book. And I'm just really, really grateful how the transformation I feel like I've been transforming myself through the journey of this co-creation, getting to know Rochelle and Lily better and receiving the support from Missy Lee, who has been a huge component, as well as the support that we received from the two beautiful souls that contributed to the testimonials that are on the back of the cover, Nupi and Lachelle. So that's what I wanted to share. I really just, honor yourself. Like I'm just gonna mirror what Lily said. It's really, you are the artist of your own life. You're the director, the writer, the producer, the artist of your own life. So what do you want to create?
Yeah. I say that too because when I'm at my TikToks, that's what I have to be, the artist, the director. I got to do my own makeup. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I love it. I love it. And that's what I said. Like, I can tell just from meeting you guys for the first time that there was no ego. And that's what I was like, you can tell that this project was truly created from the highest vibration because it was just all love, from even between you guys. You can see it, you can feel it. So I love that. Love that. Miss Rochelle, any last words for us?
I think the ladies have covered it over. I think we also did make it to number one bestseller in new releases too. So I'm super
Wow.
excited about that. So it was a journey. It was amazing. And everything, and Lily and Dina will, state this as well, that even our trips together, our connections together, everything was always synchronistic. I mean, our trip to Manhattan was, everywhere we looked that day was 222, 1111, this and that. It was just always as if it was supposed to be as it was. We came together, the messages, the art, the light language, the fact that all of us were in the same light language group, the fact that Lily and I live 20 minutes from each other, like just the synchronicities were crazy, just crazy. So, I feel very blessed to know these ladies. I feel very honored. They're my soul sisters. And yeah, I'm very, very honored that you guys have had us on today. So that's me.
That is so awesome. Thank you, ladies, so much. And with that, that ends our journey together. And I am gonna pass the mic back down to Tracy. Thank you, ladies.
All right. Thank you, Kim. And I have one more question. Dina, you might be able to answer this for me. Where can we find this book?
It is on Amazon. It is on Amazon right now. And I believe we probably all have our links in our link tree on our social media. You can go to Facebook and find in Lily's, Rochelle's, or mine pages the links in Amazon, or they could just do a search in Amazon for the name of the book and they will find it.
Perfect, perfect. And the name again is This is the Journey of Transformation Through the Art of Words and Codes. So make sure to check it out on Amazon. Well, thank you so much, Soul Sisters, Rochelle, Dina. Lily Lee, I'm so thankful that you're able to make time out of your busy schedules to all come together to be on Ready Set Reiki. I appreciate you so very, very much, and I wish you all the best success. Already number one right out the gate. I mean, and it's only going to go up from there. So amazing. Thank you so much. All right, my friends, our listeners, if you would like a question featured on this show, reach out. Social media, www.readysetreiki.com. Check us out and let us know if you have a question. We might put it right here on the show. Also, check out my platform, Feather Sister Wellness, where there is yoga, there is Reiki and Reiki training. So thank you so much for joining us on this Ready Set Reiki journey. My name is Tracy Searight, and this is Ready Set Reiki.